为什么你发布的 YouTube 短片会突然没有流量？你一天需要发布多少部 YouTube 短片？ YouTube 短片有最佳长度吗？这期影片非常重要，因为 YouTube 短片的负责人在最近的一次采访里面透露了很多关于 YouTube 短片算法的信息。在看完这期影片之后，你会完全知道如何去打造爆款的 YouTube 短片。Hi， 我是 Grayson， 这频道主要是分享关于 YouTube 频道运营、流量变现以及网络创业内容。我每周会分享3部影片，所以大家记得订阅我频道。首先，这名 YouTube 短片的负责人被问到的第一个问题就是 YouTube 短片的算法和 YouTube 长片的算法是一样的吗？是否还是像 YouTube 长片一样要先考虑到观众？
It really does. I think that is a sort of durable mental construct way to think about it. The audience is the algorithm. We do different things in short form because it is a different format. For example, on long form, a lot of the times people are choosing which video by tapping on it on their phone or clicking on it on the web. And that choice is something that drives a lot of engagement on long form. On short form, you think that people are swiping through a feed and they're discovering things as they go. And so that's like one important difference. And that leads us to need to measure in different ways. And, at the core of it, we're in long form and in short form, trying to get videos to people that they value. We want them to feel satisfied with it. But there's a lot of things that we do in short form that sort of are different and kind of focused on the fundamentals of short form. For example, how diverse the feed is a little bit different when you have hundreds of videos versus maybe 10 or 20 videos.
大家有没有思考过这个问题？当我们在观看 YouTube Shorts 的时候，都是在不断的往上滑的。当我们滑到喜欢观看的短片的时候，才会停下来观看。那么这整个过程里面，只要滑了一次，就算是短片的观看量吗？ YouTube 短片的观看量是如何计算的？
And, across the industry at large, I think different platforms count views differently. So some platforms treat a view as the very first frame. Yeah. Where like if you were to just flip through a feed, you would just be accruing lots of views.
Basically impressions.
Yeah, they're basically impressions. What we try and do with a view is have it encode for your intent of watching that thing so that creators feel like that view has some meaningful threshold that the person decided to watch it. It doesn't mean it's their favorite video ever. It just meant that they are deliberately watching it. There's a bunch of different logic behind the scenes that goes into this, like whether or not you explicitly took an action to watch it is different than if you found it in a feed, and how much time you spend on it. All that goes into whether or not the sort of view threshold is met. We don't publish it because every time we look at a new surface or there's some new interaction, we may tweak that. We don't want people to try and game it.
现在你的 YouTube 后台里面有一个全新的 YouTube 短片数据，它是滑掉和观看次数的占比。你想知道 YouTube 为什么会推出这个数据，以及这个数据到底有什么用吗？我们来看一下官方的解释。
We've heard from creators like a lot of them will be comparing that metric across lots of their shorts, and they'll see which ones are sort of like grabbing the audience versus people maybe just deciding to swipe past them. And, whether you're making a 15-second video or a 60-second video, grabbing people in the first few seconds tends to be important.
你是不是很想知道 YouTube 短片是否有一个最佳的长度是观众最容易接受的？如果短片的时长比较短，那么这会不会更容易让观众耐心的看完？或者 YouTube 更喜欢短片是接近60秒的，因为这样就能够让观众最大化的留在这平台上面， YouTube 算法就会给这样的短片更多推荐量。让我们赶紧来揭晓答案。
The thing to really think about here is what length do you need to tell your story? Opposed to trying to target an exact length, what we're trying to do as a platform is over time, videos of any length, make sure that they get the audience they deserve.
说到短片的长度， YouTube 现在短片的长度最高是60秒钟。那么 YouTube 会考虑去打破这个60秒的局限吗？把 YouTube 短片延长到90秒，或者是2分钟到3分钟。
We have talked about it, and where we've ended up is that YouTube already has a bunch of great longer videos. And I think that this is sometimes people bring up like slippery slopes as if it's a fallacy. I think this is actually a slippery slope because when I've talked to creators, it's like, can I just get 90? And then other people are like, well, 2 minutes would be great. Well, I could do 5 minutes over here. And then eventually we're just kind of recreating all of the greatness that YouTube already has. And so to date, I'd say that we are going to remain focused on 60 and under.
相信你看到现在已经了解了很多关于 YouTube Shorts 它的算法信息了，接下来会有更多官方对于 YouTube 短片算法的解释。不过在此之前，如果你喜欢这期片的分享，希望能做影片点个赞，这是对我的最大鼓励还有支持。大家可能注意到了，现在 YouTube 只允许你从手机端上面，在你上传 YouTube 短片的时候，选择你短片画面的其中一帧，去作为你短片的缩略图。YouTube 是不允许你上传自定的缩图的。那么 YouTube 为什么要这么做呢？ YouTube 会在今后开放这个功能吗？
Yeah, I've heard it from a lot of creators. And I think that it's worth thinking about that being in the shelf on Shorts is not really where most of the traffic comes from on Shorts. It's being in the feed, and the shelf on home happens to be an entry point, and thumbnails are seen there, but most thumbnails are never seen because people are in the feed and they're swiping and consuming and enjoying Shorts. So where we've ended up on this is, opposed to opening up to custom thumbnails, allowing you to select the frame from your video on iOS and Android, aligning with the sort of like observation that most thumbnails are not seen. We really don't want creators to kind of overinvest in thumbnails, and that effort is probably better just invested in making another video.
你有想过短片发布的时间会影响到短片的表现数据吗？这是大家非常关心的问题。
It's not something that we think about optimizing for. I think that for certain things, freshness may be more of a factor. For example, if somebody's focused on news, then the timeliness of that could matter. That's a little less about time of day and more about quickly responding.
很多人都说短片就是要走量，你一天需要发布5部、10部的短片，这样算法才会给你频道更多推荐量。难道这是真的吗？
I think that it's very difficult to be prescriptive here, but there is nothing in our systems. It's like when you hit the 5 video or 10 short threshold per day that you somehow unlock a secret. That's not how it works. If you generated a bunch of relatively lower quality videos and then posted those and got meager engagement on them, that energy is probably better spent in just making a better video.
Yeah.
And fewer of them. There's also something to be said about iterating and posting a video and learning from that what worked or what didn't.
如果你有发布 YouTube Shorts， 你可能会有这样的经历。你的短片在某个时段会有上百上千的观看量，然后突然就变成了完全没有流量，这到底是为什么呢？
There are parts of the algorithm that try and find creators and audience, and sometimes those algorithms will go and effectively find like a seed audience, find a set of people that may enjoy your video, and depending on how that goes, it may get a lot more traffic or it may kind of taper off. And so sometimes videos I've heard from creators like, feels like it gets stuck or something like that. I think that those could be some of the drivers there.
I think also for creators, we're used to impressions, click-through rates, and that doesn't exist in the feed. And so those views feel to me like more like impressions than traditional views. If it does increase, then it's competitive, it's working really well, and this is going to keep going. But if it didn't, like it just didn't garner any interest, then it's going to drop off the way impressions.
That's right. I think that especially creators starting out, I think a lot of those early views, they're sort of very like exploratory.
Yeah.
As we're trying to proactively help you find the audience that enjoys your content.
如果一部短片它在发布之后没有好的表现，你需要删除掉这短片再重新发一次吗？这样会不会有不同的表现？如果下一次这部短片还是没有好的表现，我是否可以选择再删除再重新发一次？这样是正确的做法吗？
No, don't. I would not advise that. I've heard people talk about this as like a growth hack on Twitter or something. I think that there is a risk there that gets seen as spam in our systems. My advice to folks is, hey, if that didn't go how you wanted it to go, learn from it and move forward and try again.
Make a better version. Like take everything you learn from that version, make a better version of it.
YouTube 是在过去2年才逐渐发展 YouTube Shorts 的。那么这个全新的内容会影响到这平台上面本身的 YouTube 影片的发展吗？难道 YouTube 的重心会逐渐转移到 YouTube 短片上吗？我想你应该非常想知道吧。
That's not sort of like not how we think about it, right? We're really trying to be responsive to users' desires.
Yeah.
It's sort of unsurprising that the demand for short form video amongst viewers has really ballooned. And we follow that viewer demand, right? So if people are interested in watching lots of short form video, and maybe it's a testament to this conversation, they are interested in watching lots of short form video, we follow that demand and try and satisfy the user's desire for that content. And to the degree that creators can make lots of great videos of all different types, then that grows, right?
Speaking just for me, There are some things I enjoy watching on Shorts more, like that I would love to watch 30 seconds of that. I wouldn't necessarily want to watch 12 minutes of that.
I think that there is a lot of people like that. They're really satisfying, I think, in some ways, different needs.
Yeah. There's so many early YouTube videos that by today's standards are closer to short form video than they are to what we think about as long form video. And long form video now can be like Marquez Brownlee doing 8K video with robots filming it. And that can feel like an intimidating barrier of entry if you're just like, I'm going to do a cold start into YouTube. But shorts can be that meet the zoo, those moments that you were talking about. And that just opens the gates to, like, we have this whole generation of creators that have grown up on YouTube. And now we have this new generation that can grow up using shorts.
Totally. Yeah, and people get started in different ways, right? So I think that short form deliberately has a lower barrier so that people can participate more easily. And they might start out at something that's pretty lightweight, that's a moment or a scene and it's only minutes creating a video that's 10 or 20 seconds long. Other people are going to do that and say, I want to focus on craft here. And they may move over to 1-minute videos. They may cut their teeth on the lighter weight thing, but then decide to move into more of a purposeful craft.
相信现在已经对 YouTube 短片的算法有个全新的了解了。YouTube 在最近宣布了，他们会对 YouTube Shorts 添加6个全新的功能，每一个功能都是非常震撼的。你可以看这期影片去了解。如果你觉得这期影片对你有帮助，希望能这部影片点个赞，一定要记得订阅我频道，了解更多关于 YouTube 内容，追踪我 IG，能够和我有更多互动。那么下期影片再见，拜拜。